What's going on, YouTube? I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video, but I just wanted to come on here and give my 2 cents on this situation with the recent shooting in Florida at a convenience store in Clearwater. The parties involved were a man named, I don't remember exactly how to say their names, but the victim's name was McGlockton, and the shooter's name, or last name rather, is Drejka. Anyhow, I was debating this subject matter a few days ago with a couple of friends. In short, I feel that there's fault on both sides. This is a tragedy that could have been prevented, and I try to look at things from an objective standpoint while also playing somewhat of the devil's advocate. And I've watched some news reports and also read some of the people's comments on YouTube videos about that same topic. But like I said before, I believe there's fault on both sides after watching that video of the incident several times. The first thing that I noticed was that the shooter, Drejka, he seems to be looking for trouble, because as soon as he got out of the truck, you could clearly see him on the video camera, surveillance footage, pulling up, and right away, as he got out of the truck, he began to argue with the driver, who would be the deceased man's girlfriend or wife. He walked right up to her car on the driver's side and starts arguing with her through the window. He never got more than, I'd say, 2 feet close to her. In all honesty, if I were in that situation, I think I'd feel intimidated as a woman to have a perfect stranger walk right up to me while I'm in a compromised position sitting in my car and start yelling. And God knows what he said to her probably was hurling insults and obscenities. And it might have been an exchange where she might have been doing the same thing. But anyhow, I think that situation could have been avoided if she had not pulled into that space to begin with without a proper parking permit. But we don't have all the details to the story. We don't know whether I would suspect that she isn't handicapped, but just pulled in because of convenience. All this took place after her boyfriend McGlockton had walked into the convenience store with one of their children, and when he came out, he noticed that they were arguing, and he didn't even give Drejka enough the chance to even respond. And it appears to me that he probably never said anything to Drejka. It's almost like he just walked right up to the man without any warning, without saying anything, and shoved him down to the ground, which in my opinion was uncalled for, because from the video footage, I didn't see Drejka put his hands on his girlfriend. I didn't see the girlfriend put her hands on Drejka. So I think the situation was escalated needlessly when it could have been actually de-escalated. Like they say, cooler heads prevail. He should have been the bigger man. I feel that in that situation, he could have been the bigger man and apologized for them having parked in the handicapped parking space and just walked away, just calmed his girlfriend down and said, let's get out of here, we were wrong. But some people don't like to admit when they're wrong about things, and pride and ego get in the way and wreak havoc. I believe pride and ego played a role on both sides. With all that said, I do not believe that the use of deadly force was necessary in this situation. yes, I take into consideration that McGlockton is or was a younger man than Drejka. I believe Drejka is in his 40s, maybe mid to late 40s, while McGlockton is a younger man. And, he probably had more of an advantage being a younger and probably stronger man. It was unnecessary and the wrong thing to do for him to put his hands on that man. I can see if he needed to do it to defend his girlfriend from bodily harm, but from the video footage, there was no physical contact. There was no physical contact or exchange between the girlfriend and Drejka. To see all these people put in the comment section, oh, well, he was defending his girlfriend. What was he defending against? A shouting match? So you mean to tell me that physical violence is required and necessary to defend someone in a shouting match? Come on now, cut the bullshit. Now, on the other hand, I believe that Drejka should have just minded his own business. Who made him the friggin' parking lot patrol or parking lot police? If he believed that they were breaking the law, he should have just taken a picture of them being parked in that parking space, wrote down their tag number, or taken a picture of the tag number and forwarded the information to the police department, and also contact the store owner and filed a complaint about people parking in the parking and handicap parking without the proper permit. And that would have been a more reasonable way of dealing with that situation. You don't get into a shouting match which results in a deadly shooting over a freaking parking space. Something else that is rather unsettling to me is that this man, Drejka, has not even been charged, which I believe he should be charged with maybe second-degree murder, because I can't see where he can legally and justifiably claim self-defense. But it's very troubling to me that this man has not been charged. And, I would have to do further research, but it seems to me that the police chief or the sheriff didn't even bother to review the surveillance footage, because I can't see how in the world they can look at that surveillance footage and believe that this man felt that his life was in danger, or that he was about to suffer imminent serious bodily harm, which would justify the use of deadly force. How could they look at that footage and say that deadly force was justified? It doesn't make sense to me. If you go back and you look at that footage, you'll see that after Drejka was shoved to the ground, there was a few seconds where he began to, there was a few seconds where McGlockton was standing over him, maybe about 3 or 4 feet away, and you could kind of tell that he was pondering whether to do something else to him. It looked like he was waiting for Drejka to challenge him and get up and defend himself. But you could also see where Drejka begins to slowly pull out his gun, and all it took was a split second for him to point the gun, and you can see where McGlockton is aware that the gun is being pointed at him, and he begins to back away. And Drejka shoots him anyhow. Now, if someone is backing away, they are aware that a gun is being pointed at them. You tell me, how in the hell can that person then claim that their life is in danger? Let's be real. How can he claim that his life was in danger and claim self-defense when McGlockton, when the aggressor has backed off? That part doesn't make sense to me. Anyhow, I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope that McGlockton's family puts pressure on the lawmakers and the sheriff and prosecutor to get this Drejka guy charged, because I do believe that he committed a crime and that he should face justice for what he did. Yes, McGlockton was wrong for shoving Drejka to the ground, and had he survived, I believe that he should have been charged. He should have and would have been charged with a battery for what he did, but he didn't deserve to die, especially over a petty argument in a parking space. But I don't know, maybe I'll make a part 2 to this. You know, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll catch you guys in another video. Goodbye.